Hello again, Janet, and thank you very much for helping us out again with these webinars about social media. So we're going to go straight into one, but I wanted to just let you quickly explain what you're going to be talking about.
So we're going to do a presentation about setting up a Facebook profile. So taking us right back to basics, taking us right out of social media, if you like, and the first jumping into social media, because yeah, there are still lots of people out there that haven't embraced social media yet, and so this is taking you through those steps of just getting yourself onto social media and onto Facebook. So that's the presentation that we're going to do today, really.
That's great, because I do know there are some practitioners who are very new to Facebook, so I'm sure
yeah.
Well. Lovely. So if you'd like to share your screen, then I'll let you get started. You've got to do that again.
Yeah, just bear with me. So that one. Okay. There we go. So you can see that, yeah?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, so just a little bit of an introduction from me about myself and Social Progress. So Social Progress set up 6.5 years ago. We are social media trainers, social media account managers. So we help people with social media. That's the core of what we do. We're quite lucky in that I was invited to Facebook in the beginning of 2017 to go across to Facebook in Dublin as part of a program that's called She Means Business, which is about upskilling people, businesses, particularly female businesses, on how to use social media and how to use specifically the Facebook suite of platforms, so Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, those kind of things. Although this presentation this morning is it's primarily my slides, the background and the template, if you like, it's Facebook's, but we're absolutely okay to use that as a Facebook She Means Business accredited trainer, which is what I am. We can use these templates, let's say. So there aren't very many of the trainers in the UK. It is a global initiative, but there's less than 20 trainers now. We've just recently been down again, down to Facebook in London this time, in fact just this week, for some more updates, but we haven't got slides for those as yet, and I'm hoping to get those fairly soon. And when we have, if Georgie wishes to do so, we can do some more stuff on those. So it'll be things like Instagram and the latest advertising techniques and things like that. So, you know, there may be other things that we'll do in the future, webinars for those as well. Okay, so what we're going to do is have a look at Facebook profiles. If this will let me go forward. There we go. So as I say, this is Facebook's template. So what we're going to be looking at is setting up a Facebook profile. So the first things to obviously think about is, you know, why are you setting up your profile? What do you want to get out of it? And often people don't really know, so, and that's absolutely fine. My husband's a prime example of this. He's still kicking and screaming and he's not getting into Facebook. So we will see. At some point he probably will when he's ready. That's absolutely fine. You know, he's on WhatsApp. He probably doesn't even realise that WhatsApp is part of the Facebook suite. But he's okay with that, and he uses WhatsApp, but he's still not getting into Facebook. The challenge in some cases with that is there are lots of people that we've known from the past that want to engage with him and can't. And also what happens is I get lots of people saying, you know, can you tell Peter this? Can you tell Peter that? Is Peter doing so and so? You know, because they want to know what's going on with him as well. So, you know, at some point probably he will, but that's his choice. We'll just have to see when he wants to get going with it, really. So. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to be doing is creating a new account. So you want to go to Facebook, you just Google Facebook, and you'll come to this screen if you're not on Facebook already. The reason you've seen the picture on the left-hand side there is because I've already logged in. It now holds my detail on my browser, and it knows that I've logged in there before. So I can quickly, if I wanted to, I could quickly click on the icon on the left-hand side of the picture. That's my avatar, and it would take me directly to my profile. But if you've never been on Facebook before, never had an account, all you have to do, obviously, is fill in your details on the right-hand side. So first name, surname, mobile number or email address, and then you create a password. Obviously, you have to remember that password because you're going to use that to then log in afterwards. And they'll want some simple information like your date of birth and whether you're male or female. Once you've done that, you just click on the sign up button and away you go. So it's fairly straightforward to do that. You know, it's entirely up to you what details you put in there. Again, please, you know, we've had people in the past that have put like, well, I'll just put any mobile number in there. I'll just put a fake email address in there. I wouldn't suggest you do that because what's going to happen is once you put that mobile number in there or that email address, you're going to get a verification. You'll either get a verification code on your mobile, if it's through mobile, or you'll get an email verification, and you have to click that to confirm that you wanted to set up an account. So don't put something fake in there. You know, you need to put your proper one in there. I'd also definitely suggest you put in the right date of birth and things like that, because two reasons. One is that what you're going to see on Facebook in terms of the advertising, let's say, is going to be based around your demographics. So it's going to be based around your age and whether you're male or female. So you're just giving them some simple information there so that when you are seeing adverts, they are relevant to you rather than not. The other thing is if you ever do anything and you get locked out of Facebook, for example, your date of birth, male, female, those kind of things, telephone number, email address, those are the things that Facebook are going to ask you to verify to get back into Facebook. And if you just put something random in there that you can't remember, you're going to struggle to get back into Facebook. So I would definitely recommend you put the right details in, not just details that you're kind of thinking of, really. So the next step, it will take you through a process when you've got into Facebook, and the next bit is it's going to ask you if you want to link with your existing friends. So if you're on Gmail, it will then access Gmail and look at all your contacts on Gmail, and you can decide whether you want to add your friends. Or it could be that it's Yahoo or any other, at the bottom there you've got other email services. So if you use something like Outlook or any other sort of email platform, you can link it to that in most cases and find friends that you want to add. So it's kind of like what it's trying to do here is help you find your friends really quickly rather than you having to sit there and think, oh yeah, now who do I know that might be on Facebook? Who can I look for? And you know, you might have a friend that's like John Smith. Well, there's going to be hundreds of and thousands of John Smiths on Facebook. So this is helping you to find those people. Because what Facebook will do is it will see if that email address is in its database. So let's say that I'm looking for Georgie in this case. So obviously I know Georgie's email address. It's going to search for Georgie's email address to see if it can find the email address as a login on Facebook. So it's just a simple way. You don't have to do this. You can skip this step and you can just get onto Facebook. You don't have to have any, you know, linking it up with any of your email accounts, but it's just a quick way of you kind of finding people on Facebook.
Janet, can I just ask a question, please?
Yeah.
Because there are some people who want to go on Facebook, for example, to be able to access the forums. So maybe a forum, whether it's a professional one or a patient one, and they don't really want to go on Facebook. They don't want to be found by friends. They literally just want to be anonymous and go on for a particular forum. Somebody very new to social media who just wants to go on Facebook, all they need to do is sign up to a new email through an account like Hotmail or Gmail and use a pseudonym, and that means they can access the forums, but their old school friends or whatever can't find them, and they're not going to be inundated with requests to be friends.
No, then that's definitely going to help to do that. Yeah, so it's a way to do it. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so what you probably do want to do is start filling in all your details. So and again, you can skip this if you want. You'll see at the bottom there's a little box that says skip. You know, you can skip it, but the more information you add into your profile, the more it's going to find people that are that you're already associated with outside of Facebook, let's say, and that's a choice thing. So it's entirely up to you. You don't have to fill all this detail in. It's entirely up to you how much information you give it. In some respects, it's a good thing to do it. In some respects, it's not. It's everybody's personal choice. The more information you give Facebook, the more likely you're going to see relevant content to you. But on the flip side, the more information you give Facebook, the more it can target adverts to you. And it's whichever side of the fence you sit on. So if you're an individual, you might go, well, I don't actually want to be targeted with loads of information. As a business, you actually probably do want to make sure that you're targeting the right people and spending wisely. So it depends on where you are with that. So, and we end up naturally giving Facebook information that without even realizing it, to be honest, with our everyday, day in, day out activity. Again, I'm not going to go into that in too much detail, but when it comes to advertising, it is really important and it's crucial, and you can see the value of that information that we are sort of naturally giving Facebook. As a profile, you're giving people, you know, Facebook the information all the time, and as an advertiser, that's really valuable information. It means you can be very, very targeted with the people that you're wanting to get your advert in front of. So there's two sides to it really at the end of the day, and you're going to get, naturally, you're going to get some people who don't want to fill in all the details, and you're going to get other people that are like, yeah, I'll fill all the details in, because if I want to see some content on there, I want it to be relevant to me. I don't just want to see just random stuff. So there's a choice. Okay, so looks like the slide's a bit stuck. Okay, sorry about that. So yeah, so the next bit is, in some cases, is filling things like your company name. So if you are, and you know, people will be different. There'll be people that have not got a company, let's say, but if you were a company owner or you worked for a company, then it might be useful to put the information in there. And what it will do is, it will link it through to, if there is a company page already on Facebook, it will link it through to that company page. And that's all it will do, really. Again, you know, putting in your current city, so you know, again, when you're getting information, it's information that's relevant to you, so it's in your location, in your vicinity. So again, a good thing to do, but it's entirely up to you. You don't have to fill this detail in. So when you filled all that in, what you'd see is you'll have an about bit, and I'll show you this in a moment, on your profile, and your about bit shows all the information that you filled in here. So some of this content on here, you can fill in. You don't have to fill it in, it's entirely up to you. And you also have a choice. So I've actually, at the bottom underneath where it says socialprogress.co.uk, there's actually my date of birth in there. I've blocked it out on the screen for a reason. it's irrelevant to you. The only person that can see it is me. And I've purposely done it that way. So you can change your settings so that there's certain elements that only you can see, or there's elements that anybody can see, let's say. So all the stuff that you can see there, if you were a friend of mine on Facebook, you'd see that information. Anytime you want to update the information, so you want to take something out, you want to add something in, you'll see an update info button, and you just simply select that. You'll get taken back to this page, to the one I showed you before, to that, and then you can edit that information in there. So it's fairly easy. So don't worry too much about if you've added something in that you then want to take it out, you can do, or you want to
basically just go to the left-hand corner and click one of those on the list, don't you?
Yeah. Yeah, so yeah, it's just literally clicking down here, and then as you hover over, you'll get the option to change those. Yeah. And so very straightforward. They've made it obviously idiot proof, as it me being an idiot, so I can use it. So you know, it is really simplistic, and that's for a reason, really. So so the next bit you probably want to do is upload a photo, and yeah, I mean, yeah, I accept that there's some people that really I don't want to engage with people. I don't want to see I don't want to build my friend database, let's say. I just want to be on Facebook simply so that I can get into forums, groups, if you like, and engage with those groups, which is absolutely fine. But what I would suggest is that you do upload a photo, because if you don't, it'll kind of flag it with Facebook, and they'll question why you haven't uploaded a photo. Now that photo doesn't necessarily need to be a picture of you. Yeah, you are encouraged to put a picture up of you, but you don't have to. It could be a picture of a slice of cake. It could be a picture of a flower. So, but again, Facebook will, if you're not using Facebook as in engaging with other people and adding friends and that kind of thing, it will kind of flag it with them that, well, why are you on Facebook if you're not actually, you know, sort of integrating with other people and using it in that way. So if you've got, you know, if there's nothing to fear, you know, then just, you know, upload your photo on there, and at least people can then also, you know, see who's commenting. It's a little bit like, you know, if you don't add a picture in there, it's a bit like going to a meeting or going networking and putting a bag over your head. You know, what's the point in that? Nobody's going to engage with you if they don't really know who they're engaging with. So even if you're in forums, in groups, it's still worthwhile having a picture on there, you know, rather than not. And if you get friend requests, you don't have to accept them, so don't worry too much about that. You know, if you're feeling like, well, I don't really want to have friends on Facebook, that's fine. Just don't accept them. You know, it's your choice really at the end of the day. But I would suggest you have a picture. The next bit is to add a cover image, and this is just like a banner that goes on the top of the profile. Again, I definitely recommend you have this. If you don't have your profile picture and a cover, again, it kind of, for Facebook, they question why you won't have this on there. Again, you don't have to, but it's just, I just recommend you do. And that could be something as simple as, more coffee, that's brilliant. That could be something as simple as just having a picture of, you know, an open space that's somewhere around you. What you do have to be aware of is with both your profile picture and your cover image, whether people are friends with you or not. So open public, anybody can see any profile pictures and any cover images that you upload. So often people kind of think, well, I just want to have a profile, but I want it to be private. I don't want to have any friends, or the friends that I've got are going to be very, very select. I don't want to invite a load of people into my Facebook life, if you like. And I don't want people seeing all the photos that I post and that kind of thing. With any photos that you post on your timeline within your profile, or you put in any sort of albums within Facebook, They will be locked down. They'll be private and only available to the people that you are friends with. But the only two albums that anybody can ever see are your profile pictures and your cover images. So always be aware of that. So if you are wanting to be very private, just be mindful of what you put in your profile pictures and your cover images. So it's just you know, that's just the default setting of Facebook. You can't actually change that setting. It's just something that they've chosen, that people's profile pictures and cover images will always be viewable to everybody. It doesn't matter whether you're friends of theirs or not. So I could go to anybody else's profile and have a look and see what their profile pictures are and cover images are.
But the image could be a theme, couldn't it? It doesn't have to be.
Yeah, I mean, you know, most people don't give a right lot away with their profile picture and the cover image, so that's probably one of the reasons that Facebook have decided on that. But, you know, for me, and you're probably the same, Georgia, I would think that, you know, my profile picture is generally a picture of me, and my cover image is generally something that's in my location. So it's just, for me, I see my profile, my cover image as a little bit of an inspiration type thing. So for me, when I look at it, I love where I live, and I love to see those pictures of, you know, where I live, and it for me, it's just that. So, but everybody will be different. My daughter has a picture of, it's like wildflowers, and it has been for ages, and she, just because she loves that image of the wildflowers, and it's just, you know, if something, you know, that takes your eye, then put it up as a cover image. It doesn't have to be you know, pictures of people that you know or anything. It can just be something that it's just something that inspires you. Could be the sea, could be anything, could be the sky, you know. And if you don't want to add a cover image that's your own personal stuff, Facebook have some preloaded ones in there as well, that you can just select one of theirs. There's probably about 10, 12 images that you could just go, that actually inspires me, so I use that one. So you could use one of Facebook's own cover images if you wanted to do that as well. So so yeah, so this is mine currently, and as I say, the things
That's
that,
where
you know,
mine is, right at the end of it, where that tower is, the castle.
say that again.
That's where I live, isn't it? From where you are, where you're pointing.
Exactly. Yeah, so we can both see, that castle on the hill at the end.
Yeah.
Georgie lives a lot closer to that than I do. She lives literally within walking distance of that, so she can walk up to the top of that, and it's probably a mile away, is it, Georgia?
Not even half a mile.
Yeah, probably, yeah. So, but this for me is, as I set off from home and I drive up a hill and I turn right, and that's the view that I see. And I just love that view. I just love it. I find it very inspirational, and it changes all the time. So, and I love it when I'm going, you know, to meetings in the morning or to work. It's just something that I genuinely love, that whole image of Castle Hill and that's Emily Moore Mast in Huddersfield. So and it's just, that's it, you know. And obviously slightly, if you notice at the bottom of the picture, there's a bit of a car. I have a soft top Mini, and you'll see on the picture, I'll probably change that because that's in the winter, actually, is the one on the, you know, my profile picture is me and my Mini, but I love that as well. So it's things that inspire me, really, and it's very personal. But anybody can look at that, anybody can see those, but I don't mind that. There's nothing there that really is going to be giving away any sort of personal information, other than, yes, I'm female and I'm over 50, and that's about all you'll get from that, really. Not a great deal more. And maybe if you know the Huddersfield area, you know that I live in Huddersfield. So yeah.
Sorry about that. I thought I'd got
so I've just highlighted here the about bit, and that's purely because, you know, if you're looking for, you know, how to look at your about bit, see what you filled in there, you can, that's where you would look. So you'll see these tabs at the bottom of your own profile, your timeline being your own personal timeline, so what you're putting on your own profile, so any updates on there that you're particularly sharing with your friends, if you have friends on here. As you can see there, it says friends. I've got 645 friends, but I've been on Facebook for at least 10 years. So, you know, it's understandable I've got quite a lot of friends, but equally so in my case, and everybody's different, and not to be ageist here, you'll find that younger people tend to connect with everybody, all and sundry people that they walk past on the street. It's maybe not quite so bad as it used to be, I think, now. But when they, you know, maybe about 5 years ago, that was the case. They'd just connect with people for just because they could. Whereas I think older generation are a little bit more selective, and me included, you know, the friends that I'm connected to are people that I know that are my genuine friends. And also because of what I do and because of where I'm located, I do get friend requests from people that I know from a business perspective, but that doesn't mean to say I accept every friend request. I don't, and I make a choice, let's say. Some people, if I see them more as a business connection, I might actually sort of send them a LinkedIn request and encourage them to connect with me through LinkedIn rather than through Facebook. Because, yeah, I mean, Facebook, I use it personally as well. I don't probably share things on Facebook that I would have done if I wasn't doing the job that I do. So I'm a bit more guarded, let's say. But, you know, what you see is what you get. But I kind of see my personal profile on Facebook as, you know, it's not like me being at home, you know, sat in front of the telly with me gym jams on and whatever. So I've still got a persona, and I have to be aware of that. And I think everybody does, that how you project yourself through Facebook or any social media platform is how people will perceive you. You'll never see me ranting. I might rant internally, I might rant to Georgia, but I probably won't rant. I'd never rant on social media, because it's not the place to do that. And I'm not a ranty sort of person anyway, to be honest. You know, I prefer to be quite a positive type of person. And you'll find that, you know, within Facebook, as with any community, you will attract the sort of people that you're like anyway, and you will filter out the people that aren't. For example, I have a friend who somebody I used to work with, and she's lovely, and she's really, you know, great we connected on Facebook, and she's you know, I see the stuff that she does. Her husband's, well, ex-husband now, sent me a friend request on Facebook, and I accepted it. I do know him, but the stuff that he was posting wasn't the sort of stuff that I wanted to see. So it was a bit more violent, let's say, and it wasn't stuff that I wanted to see. I didn't want to offend him by then unfriending him, so I just hid his content from my timeline, so I didn't see any of the stuff that he posted, because I genuinely felt that if I unfriended him, he might be a bit offended by that, so I just hid him. Same with, I have a niece who, she's lovely, but she rants like nobody's business on Facebook. I don't want to see it, so I just hide that from my timeline, and I don't see that. So you know, I do think you can tailor your profile to your own personal preferences.
Yeah.
One thing that I would say, it's not part of the slides here, but obviously there's been a lot of press at the moment about privacy settings and about Facebook allowing third-party apps into the people's profiles and gathering information with the Cambridge Analytica. I'm not going to get into the politicals of all that, but one thing that I would say is, well, a couple of things. Facebook do not allow your content to be shared with third-party apps. They dealt with this a long time ago, but they probably haven't really communicated that in that way. So, but your data is not given to third-party apps. it will be, they will get some information, but it will be very general. They won't get down to the detail of your email address, your telephone number, that kind of thing. So it's more general information about your demographics, let's say, rather than the detail of your profile. And the other thing to do is there's a couple of blogs that we put on our website, on the Social Progress website. One is how to revoke access of third-party apps on your profile. So do check that out, because you'd be surprised actually where you've allowed third-party apps to access your profile if you're already on Facebook. And there's also a blog on there on our website that's all about privacy settings and how you can check your privacy settings and make sure that everything is either locked down if you want to lock it down, or open. Again, it's a choice thing, but have a look at that and just check your own privacy settings. So, you know, as long as you're sort of in control of your Facebook profile, you've got nothing to worry about. It's when people just set stuff up and then they leave it and they don't actually check these things out. That's when you kind of end up with a lot of rubbish in the background, let's say. So, but it's fairly straightforward, really. So hopefully that's given you some insight into setting up a Facebook profile, and hopefully it's made you feel a little bit more confident about setting up a profile, and then, you know, getting into some of the groups and maybe looking at some of the pages. We're going to do another webinar about pages and a little bit of information in there about the difference between pages, profiles and groups. So if you want to have a look at that, you know, please have a look out for that particular webinar. So hopefully that's been useful for you. So
sure it will. Thank you very much, Janet. That's great.